Guys, welcome to day 2 of the Pink and Paid conference, the startup online social media digital marketing conference for women to really help them build mega brands. Somebody type that in, mega brands, because it's one thing to go out and build a business. It's a totally different thing to have 7-figure aspirations, 8-figure aspirations, 10-figure aspirations in your business. But we've all got to start somewhere. So if you're joining us tonight, this is the place. We are going to broadcast some of it live. However, I am going to be teaching a private session tonight about the different types of startup capital and how you should be leveraging them to grow your business and remain competitive. If you haven't gotten your ticket yet, make sure you go to www.buyblackandpink.com. I'm going to be teaching private sessions tonight, tomorrow night, Saturday night, and Sunday night. You do not want to miss them. Missing one of these sessions could be the difference between $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 in your business. And that's what Rose and Desiree are going to talk about right now, is how startup capital gives you the opportunity to breathe in your business. How startup capital gives you the opportunity to be competitive in your business. You can't keep bootstrapping your business. It's not cute, and it's really stealing. It's really stealing from your family, because you're taking money from little Johnny and little Steve and little Mary and saying, well, and I did it. Let me just say that first. I'm going to be the first to admit that I didn't know that there was other money available for me as a African-American woman. Ain't nobody going to help me. I did not know that so much funding existed and that I didn't have to say, I can't afford coaching. I can't afford to go to this conference. I can't afford to run Facebook ads. I can't afford to rebrand my business. I can't afford to hire a team. And those are all the things that hang in the balance. And if you haven't shared this broadcast, share this broadcast. If you haven't invited a friend, make sure you do, because these are things that we're going to be teaching you this week are critical to your success. At some point, it's not just about how good your product is. If you don't have the money to push your product out there, nobody's going to see it. And at some point, it's not just about how good does the cake taste, or how much you really want to help women. But if you're not in a position where people can see you, if you don't have that brand visibility, and you don't have the revenue to compete at that next level, you're going to get left behind. And now is too critical a point in our history for you to be left behind. So I'm going to turn it over to Rose and Desiree as they discuss the importance of don't give them the goods now. Don't give them the goods now. Because we've learned a lot.
Yeah.
We've learned a lot. Don't give them the goods, but just talk about how your business can be different now, because you have the money you need to be competitive in your business. And I'll be back in about 33 minutes, guys. So hang tight. If you haven't gotten your ticket to see me tonight, make sure you go to www.buyblackandpink.com and grab your ticket. It's going to be more than worth the wait, I promise you. Thank you, ladies. Take it away.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Like Coach said, get your tickets for tonight now, because y'all are seeing part of the revolution, but the main part of the revolution will not be televised. So if you haven't gotten your tickets, or you know someone that you want to have tickets, go to www.buyblackandpink.com. Now, without
it's going to be replays, guys. So even if you can't watch it right now, get that ticket to get that information. So later, tomorrow, whenever, you can watch them.
Absolutely. Not just later tomorrow, but you'll have it, and you can go back and glean things that you may not catch on the first or the second time.
Yeah, take some good notes.
Exactly. Take some good notes. And now, without further ado, we're going to talk to Desiree of Desiree's Delightful Treats. And they are delightful. Desiree, tell us a little bit about how you got started. And then we're going to get into how you grew from where you started and how you made that happen.
Yes. Well, I got started several years ago. And as Rose said, my name is Desiree of Desiree's Delightful Treats. I actually started baking for business by accident. It was my daughter who was having her second child, and she didn't want to have a baby shower. So we went and brought cupcakes, and I decorated them myself. And I said, "Oh, I could do this. I could do this." And my granddaughter is on the autism spectrum, and only thing that would keep her calm were cookbooks, baking cookbooks. So we brought tons of those, and so that's how pretty much I got started. But I at the time was also a full-time nurse, so juggling the two of them was extremely difficult. A lot of times I was falling asleep behind the wheel, coming home from working full time. And when you're under someone else's job descriptions, you got to do what the bosses say. So, I had to work every other weekend, which was conflicting with my business because the majority of events are going on during the weekend. So I'm crunching cakes and treats on the weekend, plus clocking in 8 hours on the weekend. So I was exhausted. I was exhausted until I found Coach, until I found her. That changed the direction of everything for me. It gave me clarity on running a business. Under her, I learned the different ways I could manage my business. And she constantly told me that, you can't do the both. You got to focus on what you want to do. Do you want to do this job, or do you want to make this money over here? And the different ways of making money. She's so full of knowledge, So because of her, I've grown tremendously. I'm no longer a full-time nurse, and I'm glad I can wake up on my weekends, decide what I want to do, and that includes in my business. If I even want to take, baking orders or whatever that time. But like she said, that startup capital and having those options, and knowing that I don't have to go do that job anymore because there are other financial resources available to help me in my business so that I can be on other platforms and branch out and do other things in my business, and don't have to bust my chops doing it. Because that was another thing, like she was saying with the revenue. I was in the beginning using my job to fund everything. My house was being paid for, my household expenses being paid for, funded from my personal finances. The business was running off the personal finances, because in the beginning, who really makes money? You got to get your foot going and some traction going before you actually start to see some profit. And I was doing all of that off of my own money,
You were bootstrapping.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of beginner or new businesses do. They bootstrap by using their job as their investor, using their money, or robbing Peter to pay Paul in order to be able to fund their business. But you made a really good point, Desiree. You were bootstrapping, but you also made an investment with your bootstrap money in coaching.
Yeah.
You got wise counsel and coaching that could move you away from that bootstrapping mode into the finding the resources and taking advantage of those resources, other people's money, startup capital, to be able to move your business onto a bigger scale. Because if I'm not mistaken, looking at your website, you don't just make regular cupcakes and things like that. You make custom desserts.
Yes.
You make cookies that may be shaped like things, or a company may request large orders from you. And
Yeah.
everybody knows that if you get a large order, you have to have large money to make that, to be able to fulfill that order. Tell me something about that, because I think recently you did get a big order.
Yes, yes. Just recently, I just got an order from Amazon. They opened up a new distribution center here in one of the towns in Trumbull, Connecticut, and I did I think over 16 dozen cookies for them with their logo on it. And yeah, I mean that wasn't just money sitting around. I had to purchase the edible sheets, the labels. That was over $100 just in sheets, labels alone. So if I didn't have that availability to have funding, those funds there, I wouldn't have been able to accommodate that order. I would have had to turn it down because I didn't have the funds to just get the materials needed to do that for them, and I did a little small cake too. But yeah, there's some orders that require a lot of materials, the edible printer, the edible ink to print those logos. Butter is through the roof, and I bake with real butter and stuff. So, the flour, the sugar, all of it did add up. But you have to come through, and I was grateful that I did have those funds available, because what that startup capital does and did for me is it allowed me to have other areas freed up.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got money that I know is going here to pay for this and going there to pay for this, when I get those large orders, there's money in the middle that I can just take and say, okay, I can do this with this money. I don't have to take it from here. I don't have to worry about it from there. I don't have to rob Peter to pay Paul. I can take it even with short orders. If someone came and I need 300 or something tomorrow or something, I have the resources, like you said, they're available for me to be able to do that.
Exactly. And that takes a lot of capital. It takes a lot of energy, personal energy, because you can't make all of those desserts by yourself. And also too, y'all, there are several ways to be able to fund your business, but you have to know where to go and find those funds and what you need to have in place, documentation wise, and all of that, to be able to take advantage of applying for those funds. That is why it's so important to get your tickets tonight for the private session that Coach is going to do on startup funding. You can go to www.buyblackandpink.com, because see, like I said, part of the revolution is televised. Part of it's live tonight, but the main speaker, the main information on startup funding will not be televised. So if you don't have a ticket and you're not in the room and not able to get a replay, you're going to miss out on some really good nuggets. Because trust me, trust and believe, and you might not know me from Adam, or you may not know Desiree from Adam, okay? But Coach Danielle Winningham, she gonna drop the mic several times tonight, because last night she laid the foundation with the vision. Tonight she's gonna talk about startup capital. You know what that is, don't you? That's money.
Yes.
She's gonna tell you how to get the money. And it's not just about going with your hand out, because I'm sure, Desiree, you didn't just go with your hand out. So y'all, go to www.buyblackandpink.com. Don't miss your opportunity. Don't let this time pass you by.
That's right.
Now, getting back to this, Desiree, I am sure that you did not just go to get that funding and you walked up to the door and said, knock, 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 stick your hand out. Give me some money. Give me 10,000. Just lay 20 on me.
Yes.
Like the Tin Man said in the Wizard of Oz, just lay some oil on me. I'm sure they
Yes.
didn't just say, okay, here you go. I'm sure
Nope.
there's things you had to have in place.
Yeah. I had to be exactly what I said I was, a business. And I had to have those documents, like you said, you have to have all that lined up to show that you are a business and you're functioning as a legitimate business. To get that startup capital, you do. And they're going to ask you for those things. They're going to ask you for, surprisingly, even one of the major things we're talking about through this whole thing that Coach is going to touch on, even with the social media, they want that information too, because they want to know what you look like on social media. Do you look like a business?
No.
They asking for all of that. They're asking for receipts. They're asking for all of that. And that's one thing that's so amazing about this community that we have, that there is somebody in this community that supplies everything we need. We have it right here amongst our own sisterhood. We got the accountants, we got all of that right here available. And we got Coach who's, spearheading and leading the way of getting this information and passing this information on to us. That's one thing all of us know that's in this community, that when Coach finds something, she's not the type of teacher who or coach who, she doesn't want to just keep you under her wing so that she continue to get money out of you. She wants to bear good fruit. So she's the tree, and all of us that's falling under it, she wants us to be the good fruit. So if she's making money, she wants to make sure we're all making money. And startup capital is the conferences, even when we went to the last one we had before all of this, the Atlanta one, all of that was so amazing. But me having the availability to say, okay, I can go and have those funds available, and know still, even and the thing about it is, I bake and I do all these treats and stuff, but through Coach, I've learned how to gain other revenue from other places, that I can say, I'm going to go to Atlanta for the week, and I'm not worried about missing no money on baking some cakes or treats while I'm in Atlanta gaining knowledge at a conference, because she teaches us how to make money. She teaches us how to gain money from other resources, that we can do that. And how to line your ducks and stuff up in a row, that when you come to these people for this capital, you are legitimate. You are looking legitimate. You're presenting yourself legitimate, and people want to invest in your business. They want to invest in your business. So you guys, you need to get a ticket. You do not get a ticket. You do not want to miss. First of all, there's no coach out there who's teaching on the level that Coach Danielle is, at the prices. I don't think, me and Rose, we know the value of what you guys will get showing up to this conference and getting these tickets, because we're in the community. We know what she's going to teach. We know that it's going to be fire. We know, even me and Rose, how long have you been around Coach?
I've been in this community now for 2.5 years. And I'm going to tell you, I've been in coaching. I've been in the coaching arena for several years. You're not going to find another coach out here that's going to, pour into you like Coach is, that's going to hold your feet to the fire and make you accountable. Because sometimes Coach wants us to get our money more than we do.
She does.
And you have to find your fit, but you also need to be in a good community.
Yes.
A good community where you can vibe off of each other, and others can help you by vibing off of them as well. And they see things that you may not see in your business. Yes. Because Desiree, you said something earlier. We get so attached to our businesses. we get so attached to our businesses that a lot of times it's hard for us to be able to relinquish what we think it should be because it's our baby.
Yeah.
And by us being so close to it like that, you miss things.
Yes.
You may step in a hole that you could avoid because you don't have wise counsel and you don't have coach and you don't have a community. Because
Yeah.
business, you can speak to this, I'm sure, business is not easy. And and if you're not in a community of like-minded people, someone that you can share with, it can be a really lonely place.
It can. Yes. Yeah.
You
It
know.
really can. I was having a discussion with someone and they was talking about a television show or something and they were like, "Oh, did you see such and such and such?" And I'm like, "No, I don't. What's that?" You know,
Yeah.
like I'm sleeping with notebooks and other type of business books and learning and stuff. I'm like, no, I don't have time to go places like that and watch TV because you know you're nurturing something. You're trying to grow something, so you know.
And see, you're absolutely right. You're trying to grow something, you're nurturing it, and that means that you have to spend time with it. You have to water it, you have to put some sunshine on it, you have to spend some time with it, and a lot of times that causes you to have to sacrifice.
Yeah,
but if you sacrifice in the beginning,
yes,
and you do the things in the beginning, and you grow and you get some startup capital, that you will allow you to be able to move to another level later. And that's when you may have time to develop offshoots from your business.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. That's exactly what it allows you to do. Because even now I'm like transitioning to different things. And I know that like the way I've been functioning up to now is I'm at a role like, okay, now things about to completely change. I'm about to do stuff completely different. You know, everything's about to be different. I need a different website. I need, you know.
You grow.
Yeah. Yeah. Time to start putting more people into the team, you know.
Exactly.
So yeah, so I can stop doing a lot of the stuff that I'm doing now. And that startup capital is where you could use all that for. You can use that startup capital to build a team. You can use that startup capital for the technology, to pay for the technology you need to increase your, you know, change your website to do different things or build a whole new one or, you know, get the new products or whatever you're trying to do. Pay for coaching. You need coaching. You know, you can use this startup capital for that, you know. And if you're with the right coaching in the right community, that's golden.
The sky's the limit.
Yeah.
So y'all, we have been interviewing Desiree Delightful Treats Adu. That's what her name is on Facebook. She started her business all because it was calming to her granddaughter. And her daughter needed some cupcakes made. Desiree said, I
Yes.
can do that.
Yes.
And look at her now. She got wise counsel. She got coaching. She bootstrapped. And then she moved on to other people's money, venture capital. Everybody, thank you all for joining us this evening. We have more coming up for you. We have Miss Cherie coming up next. Coach is going to drop the mic. Cherie's going to drop the mic too, but Coach, she going to kick the mic out the room when she comes up later. So if you all haven't gotten your tickets, I'm telling you now.
Hurry up.
I'm going to tell you now.
You can't beat the price. You can't beat the price.
You really can't beat the price.
Take out.
Yeah, take out a couple of French fries and some.
Go through the drive. That's a drive-through, a trip through the drive-through.
Exactly. And I'm going to tell y'all now, don't get in my inbox later talking about Rose. Told me and I didn't listen. So with that said, I believe we have Mrs. Cherie coming up next. Desiree, thank you so much for being a part of this and joining us this evening.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to the rest of the night's festivities. And I got there's one thing I've learned from Coach all these years of being around. I keep a pen and some paper ready. So I'm looking forward to all the rest of the little nuggets going to be dropped tonight from all the other guests and then from Coach too. So thanks for having me.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be in here with you, my sister.
Likewise.
Okay, all right, everyone. As we continue to move on, we now have Cherie Caldwell with us, who's going to be discussing using online to build your career connections. And then after her, immediately after her, we're going to have Coach Danya Winningham, Stop Being a Solo CEO, Why You Need a Team Now. Cherie, take it away.
All right, thanks. Hi, everybody. Let us get started here. I need to have the host control, Stephanie, so I can share my content. Awesome, thank you. All right, let me know if you can see that.
So, Cherie, I'm a stickler for the right titles. So let me get you off a restream and come back in with the right title. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can.
Okay, great. Give me just a second. Mm-hmm. Can you stop sharing your screen for just a second?
Yes.
Great, thank you.
Uh-huh.
So guys, up next, we're gonna have Cherie Caldwell talking about how Black women can crack the glass ceiling in corporate America. I think that's critical because a lot of you may be working jobs right now. And even though that doesn't have anything to do with your business, some of you may choose eventually to stay in corporate America. So I think that's super important. So we're going to just stop this live stream. If you're watching on Periscope or Facebook, you can come right back. We're going to reintroduce this stream.